Good morning, everybody. It's Justin here, and it's time for a Lake St. Clair fishing report. And I do apologize. I had a long week on the road for work and had to get that done. But let's get into an update on the ice conditions and the fishing out here on Lake St. Clair. The Lake St. Clair Fishing Report is brought to you by Rose Marine. So over here at the south side of Beacons, looking into Crocker and the spillway, the ice immediately in front of the ramp is walkable. Guys are on it. It's thick. I see a few spear hole chunks, well over 12 inches of ice where those chunks are. But gotta let you know about some danger stuff going on. Out here at the spillway, you have open water. It's flowing, but down by the point, see that white heave right off the end of that point there? On the other side of that, that is all open water, and that circles all the way out into the lake. And then there's pockets out in that broken stuff of open water, so there's a lot of movement in those areas there. As we go out towards the point of Metro, those big heaves have pushed out, and that means some of this ice is starting to move. Let's head up to the north end of Beacons here and take a look out by Geno's. So like I was saying at the start of this video, guys, I'm a little behind on getting this out there. It's actually not a bad thing that I was, because it kind of gives you an idea of what happened over the weekend and where we're sitting, because it is cold right now and everything is nice, firm, and solid. I think I drove like 1,500 miles in just the northern lower peninsula alone for work. Man, got to see some beautiful, beautiful country. But you're not here to hear about my work week. You're here to hear about Lake St. Clair. So what do I see here on the north side of Beacons? Well, back behind me here, we have two quads, two guys fishing over by the trailer park in the Willows. A lot of big holes out in this area as well from augers. You know, some 10-inch holes, but you don't see that too often. So be on the lookout for any 10-inch holes or spearing holes as the week progresses and warms up. Those might open up and become hazards to you as you walk out here. Cleats are definitely going to be a necessity if you're traveling far. From the fishing reports, I have been kind of watching and hearing some big fish are starting to show up. The bite is still slow, but the bigger fish are starting to roll into areas that you would expect to see them. Also, heard of some walleye being caught off the beach at Metro towards the evening time. So maybe it's time to maybe focus on that nighttime bite for those big perch and have some minnows down for those big walleye. You just never know what might happen. But ice, as far as I can see here, L'Anse Creuse Bay. Again, that pressure ridge, I do see some rippling and some movement out there on the other side of the ridges. Basically anywhere where the ice has been broken up, do not go past it. That is not safe. Everything where it's smooth should be the safest ice for you to be on. Right now we got a west wind, but it is light. I don't foresee any of the ice that we have been fishing to blow away from us here at L'Anse Creuse today. But as we go into the week, it's definitely something you need to pay attention to and watch. So let's head on up to Metro and take a look at the beach area and see how that fared. So over here at the day sale, you can see there is a fair number of guys out here fishing. Couple machines still, but definitely not car safe, so keep those cars off. Yes, I seen the Jeep cruising around on the ice. What an idiot. Anyways, it's gorgeous out here other than a wind that feels like it's single degrees when it blows, but it's gusting on and off. So fishing wise, they've been catching fish in 4 to 10 foot of water. Some days are a little shallower, some days a little deeper. Numbers haven't been there, but the quality is starting to show up out here off the beach. So that should be very, very promising. And if you're wondering if the fat lady is singing, yeah, I think by Wednesday or Thursday, she's gonna be singing really loud for everybody out here. So if you are gonna be out here during the week, be very, very careful. We are what I would say in the very first stages of last ice, because a long range forecast is not looking great for holding main lake ice. and even some of the canals may see a lot of damage from what's going to be coming at the end of this week. So if you're wanting to get out and chase some fish, now is the time to come out here and do it before all that rain and 60-degree weather shows up on Thursday. Hey, did you get the notification about my last video? If you didn't, be sure you click down below, hit that red subscribe button, and ding that notification bell so you get notified every time I post a video. So over here at Harley Ensign, looking out across the Clinton River, I came over here not because guys are fishing out here, but to see just how the ice is moving here on the southern part of Anchor Bay. And it doesn't have a lot of room to move, but there is places where that if something broke off, it's going to move far enough that's going to put you in danger and not let you get back to shore. I'm not saying it's going to happen today, but later in the week, that could be something that you need to think about and worry about out here. Conger Bay over there by McInerney's is wide open. Let's head on over to the other side of the point here and take a look. I can see some heaves way out there by Gull Island. So over here on the north side of Harley Ensign, Candles Bay. Basically, it's open water all the way to Metro, except for the back here in the corner. But there is a lot of current that flows in from the Clinton River and the back side of this bay. So definitely a risky place to be fishing. Lots of ducks, lots of birds everywhere. And as I look out on the horizon, I am seeing lots of pockets out in that ice. So there is some movement out in this ice. And if we get the right conditions, that is going to go really quick and start to move over to our friends over in Canada. So let's head on up to Saltridge, take a look out there. I know there's been a lot of guys out there fishing, so let's go see how that's doing. So over here at Saltridge, as you can see back behind me, we have a few guys fishing down towards the barracks. In fact, I can see guys all the way down by the barracks. Lots of limbs on the ice, and that tells me there's lots of spearing holes. Thank you to those that are continuing to mark those holes. It is a safety hazard that we need to be conscious and save our fellow fishermen from misstepping into a spear hole. Looking out here, out towards the main lake, lots of ice as far as you can see. But as you can see from when I was over at Harley Ensign, the ice basically ends at McInerney's there, and then it begins to open up. Looking out towards Cotton Road, there's a few guys out there fishing as well. Fishing wise, same thing as down by the day sail and Geno's. There is starting to see some bigger fish start to show up, but the numbers haven't shown up. As the week progresses and things warm up, I would assume that would probably happen. And you know, if you're not out here, you're not going to get into them, so you got to be here when they show up. So get out here and chase these convicts. We're here at Brandenburg. I do not see as much open water that was out here as there was in my last report. Still a little open water over here on the point where the heave is at. Basically anywhere where you see slick ice, that ice held, and everything past that chunk ice is what was moving around during that last warm-up. Luckily though, we had a tremendous amount of cold weather that made things really solid, as you can see. When that warm-up was happening, there's no way I could have walked on just this ice where I'm at here at the ramp. But you may want those cleats, because she is going to get slick. Put a little water on here, it's going to get slick. In fact, there's a little bit of like scummy feeling water happening right now on top, and that's probably due to the sun that we have out here. And that's another thing to keep in mind. Now that we are past daylight savings time, the amount of light that we are going to see is going to increase tremendously. And yes, that will affect any ice production we might get when the temps are right after this warm up. So keep that in the back of your mind. As you can see here on the edge of the boat ramps, you know, anywhere you got metal or concrete or rock, you're going to have a lot of built up heat in that, and it's going to start eating away at that edge ice. And that's what begins to let this ice free up and take a drift out here. So keep that in the back of your mind. I know I'm repeating that a lot, but I have to. If you are paying attention on social media or even the news, you saw what happened down in Ohio on Lake Erie, And I don't want that to happen to any of you guys out here on Lake St. Clair. So let's go on up to our last little zone here on Lake St. Clair, Fairhaven, and the raft. So up here at the Fairhaven boat launch, you might be able to hear on the mic, but there is some red-winged blackbirds singing, and that's another sign that spring is getting really, really close for us. Woo! Up here on Lake St. Clair. A lot of guys out here fishing. The fishing up here has been pretty much following suit with the rest of the lake. It's picking up. You'll have some spurts of really good fishing. Still got to work for them a little bit. A lot of vehicles in the parking lot today. This cold weather that we had this past week has done a lot to do a lot of repair to damages that have happened out here due to the warm-ups. But another warm-up is right around the corner. Let's head up to the raft, see how many guys are actually out there fishing right now. So we are here at the raft on our last stop on the Lake St. Clair ice fishing tour. As you can see, got a few guys back behind me here on the buckets. Don't see any hook setting action or anything, so looks like the bite might be a little slow at the moment for these guys. But the weather is looking really good for today and tomorrow. So if you were worried about coming out and fishing and you're worried about the ice conditions, well, there's plenty of ice. Get out here and chase these fish. Why we still can. And we don't need a boat to do it. Now, a little bit of information for you guys on some open water fishing here in this week's ice fishing report as I step over some really thin ice. Up by Port Huron, a few guys have risked the biscuit and gotten out on Lake St. Clair and have had some success. Now, do I recommend going out there right now? No. But if you are wanting to possibly go out there on the river, you need to reach out to Joel up at Anderson Pro Bait and give him a call. I'll leave the number right down below here, and ask him where the ice is, how it's moving around the river, because when that ice comes down, you're gonna be blocked off and there's no way to get back to the ramp, and honestly, it could destroy your boat that you're in. So very, very risky fishing. I know a few guys have gotten out there, but I'm not in a hurry to get out there, and I do want to go up and try to get into some of that fishing. Fingers crossed that timing aligns for me to get up there and chase them again this year. So, as always, guys, I do want to thank you for checking in to the Lake St. Clair Fish Report here on the channel. Thank you to everybody that is subscribed. If you're not subscribed, be sure to click down below, hit that red subscribe button, and ding that notification bell so you get notified every time I post a video. And as always, guys, tight lines, happy casting, and we'll see you on the next video.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. It helps me, it helps the channel, it helps everyone that likes to catch fish.